Today, Medialight reports that Chicago police say Trump lied about meeting top cop to talk through tough police tactics.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
Oh boy. So a few days ago, Bill O'Reilly had an interview with Donald Trump where he threw a few softball questions that should have been very easy for Donald Trump to answer. They were top conservative talking points on gun violence in Chicago, and the question was, can you name a specific policy that will solve gun violence in Chicago? And Donald Trump just could not answer the question.
You have in Chicago a problem. Did you know that murders in Chicago are up 50% this year from last year?
I know it. I know it very well.
And they
It's
can't.
out of
And they
control.
can't solve it. They can't solve it. State of Illinois, City of Chicago can't do it.
Well, you know why they can't solve it?
Well,
Because
wait,
I don't
but
think
no, I
they
wanna
have
know-
the right people in charge.
So, all
in
right.
terms
So
of the police force.
specifically,
I don't think-
how
I
do
don't
you
think-
do it? How do you do it?
I know police in Chicago. If they were given the authority to do it, they would get it
How?
done.
How?
You have unbelievable. How? By being very much tougher than they are right now. They're right now not tough. I mean, I could tell you this very long and quite boring story, but when I was in Chicago, I got to meet a couple of very top police. I said, how do you stop this? How do you stop this? If you were put in charge to a specific person, do you think you could stop it? He said, Mr. Trump, I'd be able to stop it in 1 week. And I believed him 100%.
How? Did he tell you how he would be able to stop it in 1 week?
He wants to use tough police tactics.
So obviously Donald Trump's response to this was that he met a really top cop in Chicago and they're going to use tough police tactics and he's just going to trust the police and put the trust back in the police. Bill O'Reilly, credits to him for once, actually pointed out how this is not a policy. Like, Donald Trump isn't advocating for anything. He's just saying, like, let's put our trust in the police, and this just, like, top cop I knew there, this one random cop. The Chicago police came out today in response to that, and they pointed out how Donald Trump lied about that.
Das war ein Befehl!
Not only could Donald Trump not name a specific policy, but he couldn't even tell the story correctly.
But wait! There's more!
Donald Trump's policy quotes seem to be, like, pretty scary if you think about it. He's advocating that the police pretty much rule over the city of Chicago and all other cities to stop crime, like, with no sort of enforcement or policing the police.
You're in my house now, bitch!
Basically, what he is asking for is that the police have full reign over what happens in Chicago and, like, just target criminals and they know who they are and just arrest them and all of that. But we've tried that multiple times and it has not worked, right? There have been instances in which the police abuse their power, right? There is no system of checks on the police right now. What do you think expanding that is going to do? And lastly, there's a lot of distrust in the police. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that increasing police power is probably the wrong way to go? And why is it that the United States has probably the most powerful police force in terms of militarization, but then the highest crime rates?
Fuck it up, fuck it up.
Let's actually talk about Chicago violence, because this is a conservative talking point. I'm like, gun control just does not work. Look at Chicago. Just look at Chicago.
Shut your fucking mouth!
The response to this is pretty simple. The reason why there's a lot of gun violence in Chicago is because of lax gun control in every surrounding area.
No shit.
Al Jazeera reported the reason why gun violence in Chicago is so high is because of lax gun controls in the surrounding areas. For example, you would be closer to an Indiana gun show in Chicago than you would be to downtown Chicago.
Man, this is some bullshit!
The second thing is that people legally buy guns in Indiana at these gun shows, and then illegally sell them in Chicago. Why do you think the crime rates are so high there, then? There is no sort of system of control in Chicago to prevent people from buying guns legally elsewhere. This is how they're getting their guns. They're getting them legally. They're not getting them illegally. This is proof that gun control laws actually do work. It's just that there are no gun control laws in these surrounding areas. If you want to look to places that actually have real gun control laws and enforceable gun control laws in all the surrounding areas, you can look to Australia, Britain, and basically every other country that is not the United States in the developed world.
America! Fuck yeah!
And then the last thing is just specifically on Donald Trump being caught lying again. He is a pathological liar. The fact that people believe anything he says about TPP or any populist policies is ridiculous. He recently said that he promises that he'll get 95% of the black vote.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
What are all of these plans? He also talked about like terrorist plans, like, oh, I'm honestly not going to talk about them, or else ISIS is going to find out. You guys gotta trust me. I'm gonna have the best plans. I have the best words. I have a big brain, you know. I have the best plans. You just vote for me and you'll see it'll go so fast that your head will spin. That is word for word what Donald Trump would say. What are all these plans? Earlier in that same interview, he literally said that we're gonna take all the bad ones out. It's gonna be so fast that your head will spin. How are you going to do that? You just cannot answer these questions because Donald Trump has no idea of how policy works, but people still believe this, and it makes absolutely no sense.
Okay, fine.
Donald Trump caught lying again, doesn't have any idea of what policy is, and his actual talking points, if they were implemented in his ideal world, wouldn't even work. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Share the video if you enjoyed it and want to show other people, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'm telling Turkey that they're an important member of NATO. Yay.
Are you being sarcastic, dude?
So I can imagine that the conversation goes something like this.